We've seen a string of shortages as the country opens back up, and ahead of this summer, one AC repairman from Arizona says it's a shortage of raw materials needed to fix your AC. Here's what you need to know.
Mike Donnelly has built his air conditioning and plumbing business around customer service.
So far, we've been able to fill the demands. We've been able to take care of our customers.
But lately, he's having to work much harder to find components that used to be readily available.
We have to try multiple options to actually locate equipment that'll work in each situation.
It's a shortage that starts with raw materials that's hit almost every industry hard this year.
There's multiple reasons, and some of the raw material shortages like copper, steel, and aluminum. Some of it's transportation shortages, is getting equipment or materials to the factories. And then we had a huge demand last year while people were at home, and the factories never caught up after being shut down for COVID.
So how can you keep your air conditioner going without a lot of repairs over the summer? Aside from changing filters every month, which we should all be doing, Mike says schedule that annual maintenance now before a small issue becomes a big problem when the temperatures climb above 110.
Go out and listen to it. If it's making a racket, get somebody out there now and again, catch a small problem before it becomes a big one.